welcome back to Whysosidious, a nerd podcast where we travel from a galaxy far, far away into your listening device, breaking down and discussing all of our favorite nerd properties. I'm your host, David Cochran, and here with me tonight is Caleb Culver and Jeremy Darr. It's the first time we've all been together in a minute. It's exciting. Tonight, we are going to be covering the 9th episode of the Disney Plus series Andor, titled No One's Listening. It was directed by Toby Haynes. He took on the 3-episode premiere, and he did the last episode, and will be directing the next episode as well. And written by Beau Willimon, who wrote episode 8, and will be writing the next episode as well. Before we get started, as always, we would love if you followed us on social media, on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at whysosidiouspod. Always posting, always looking for fan interaction, so hop on over there and give us a follow. It would really help us out. Before we dive into this is your official spoiler warning. Go watch Andor episode 9 before continuing or be spoiled. Which, let's be honest, if you're on Instagram or social media at any point, you're probably going to be spoiled. Because I got spoiled by a Disney promo before I watched this episode. Which it didn't end up being the full spoiler I thought it would be. But still, I'm sick of these Instagram promos when I'm scrolling through. And then all of a sudden a really important line drops before I even have time to scroll past it. It's like, okay.
What was it?
Right.
So it was Vel and Mothma when they were talking together, and they're like, what have we done? You know, we've chosen a side, yada, yada. And my first thought was, that's her rich parent? Like, wow, they just blew that, which they're cousins, so it wasn't her parent. But I was like, what the hell? Okay, yeah. Well, Vel's obviously family with Mon Mothma. Turns out she was, but...
Crazy.
All right, quick summary of the episode. We open up with Deidre all too happily explaining to Bix about the Empire's new torture tactic involving the screams of children, giving us one of the darkest scenes in Star Wars. And then over with our favorite character, Cyril, getting lectured by his mom yet again at the breakfast table until she learns he's been promoted, and like a fair weather fan, she switches up her tone real quick with him. And then the last we see with Cyril is him doing his best Dwight Schrute impression, letting Deidre know that he has been stalking her and has been absolutely obsessed with her ever since their meeting. And surprisingly, she doesn't have him shot on sight before threatening him and storming off. How's the peeping, Tommy? So off to the prison, we see Andor showing off his knowledge of patterns in the prison system and planning a prison break with some of his group, while Ulaf turns senile before our very eyes. Then word breaks out about an entire floor of prisoners being killed, and the rumors and feelings of defeat and hopelessness spread like wildfire. Ulaf croaks, and they ascertain that no one in the prison is being released after they serve their time. They're trapped, and after multiple attempts by Cassian, this news finally causes Kino to be ready to do something about it. No more than 12 men at a time. What a dope line right there. What a way to end the episode. That was sick. Let's just get into that. Just get into the prison. All the prison stuff. It was my favorite part of the episode. I freaking love this prison style, this prison storyline they're doing. I really don't know what it is. Like, this is the weirdest thing, but there's something satisfying about watching them in the assembly line, putting together all that stuff and like running as a team. I don't know why, but I'm here for all those scenes. So right off the bat, like we were talking about it last episode, Love, about how Cassian was looking around while he's walking through this prison, like nonstop. He's looking, he's taking in as much information as he can, and we immediately see that that's paying off. Like, he's talking to Kino. He's like, yeah, they're bringing in a new guy, right? That's what happened. That happens the day after, right? Like, he knows the pattern of this prison in this 30 days or so that he's already been here. Like, he's picked up on all the guards, like everything. He's ready for a prison break. And dude, he's just so smart. We keep seeing time and time after again, like Cassian being incredibly cunning and just on top of his game when it comes to observations and knowing how to play people and get out of situations.
But so what I liked about this episode was how Andy Serkis's character started off by just denying him. You know, they're not listening. He's trying to ask him how many guards are on the level, and he just kind of turns over, shuts his eyes, and then halfway through the episode, I forgot. With the people being killed on level 2, that scene, the look in his eyes is like a little bit of uncertainty. But he tells him, "Get back in line. Do your job. But then at the end, when the doctor finally tells him that, no one's getting out of here, the look in his eyes again, where he's just like, all right, I'm in now. Like, we're fucking getting out of here.
Dude, we got that Golem turn with him. Like right when he said that, and then he stops and like with the deep voice was like, "What do you mean? Keep my men in line." Like it was like a dark, ominous kind of golem tone he started putting on that, which, dude, he killed it with his acting, his facial expressions and everything. Like you said, that scene when he starts hearing the rumors and he puts his hand above his head before he tells everybody, you know, don't worry about it. You can see like the fear and concern in his eyes, like, because he's so desperate to get out. He's only got 200 shifts left, you know. He's holding on to that fact that he's almost out of here, and he's so scared of anything to ruin that or prevent him from actually making it out. Like he's so close that he feels like he's not going to make it out, and he doesn't want them planning these prison breaks and causing problems. But it was just a great performance. What a treat. What a surprise treat to have him in the show.
Seriously. Before, like, the last episode, I was like, what is this guy doing here? They're going to cast this huge role for someone who's just kind of a dick to everybody. He's the manager of this police work group. This started to kind of show what his character is about. Like, he's a dick because he wants to perform, because he kind of probably heard rumors of what happens to people who don't perform.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did anybody get Squid? Well, I know we kind of touched on it. The Squid Games vibes we were kind of getting from the prison. But then the old man aspect of it, like it totally gave me the old man from there, you know. So obviously Ulif or Olaf or whatever runs this prison, and he's actually at the top of his game, and he's just there as an undercover boss, just like that one old guy in Squid Game. He's actually Snoke, probably. Him and Andy Serkis are one character. It's all coming together.
As soon as it gets a little more murdery, then it's literally going to be Squid Games.
Yeah.
They're definitely putting together the Death Star.
Yeah, I was going to say
like
that.
With everyone's sentences being doubled and finding out that they literally can't leave, they just get moved to a different level.
Yep.
Like, it's the Death Star.
Yeah.
And I love
And they're moving it up. They're each like building a piece of it, and then they all someone puts it all together.
Right.
Because the amount of resources and building that went into this gigantic project, it's so nice to get some insight into the process of it being built like that.
Yeah. Like it would have to be a galaxy-wide effort to bring all that.
Yes.
Like you're not just doing that on one planet, you know? So they're doing it every prison across the galaxy probably at this point.
And of course, it's not like a well-paid workforce that everybody has benefits and everybody's happy. Like, obviously, it's going to be some kind of slave labor situation to get all this shit done.
Well, of course. How else are you going to do it?
Exactly.
Well, yeah, and it feels like that Aldani thing was just an excuse for the Emperor to be like, nice, all right, here comes our slave labor, pick up the production on this Death Star stuff. They just gave us an excuse to just absolutely take away any chance of these people getting out. But yeah, it's dope to see it being created.
Yeah, it's like you have this, like the Aldani robbery we thought might have lit the fire for the rebellion, for people to start joining the rebellion, but it literally like lit a fire under the Empire's ass to start being way more brutal.
Dude, oh my gosh.
Seriously. Kind of backfired.
Yeah, yeah,
Which is apparently what Skarsgård's character wanted.
Yeah, right. That's what he said. Said we needed to push them. They're doing this too slowly.
But it means the Empire's worried.
Right.
They're worried now.
Yeah.
It's a threat.
But not that worried, because it's not like it's a huge defeat for them. You know, they're still super confident. It's just, but like in a way that it gives them a reason to really buckle down and become the evil empire we know.
Right. Yeah.
They're still overconfident.
But yeah, it's like Cassian was telling Kino in there when they were in their rooms, you know, he's like, you think they're listening? They're not listening. They don't care about us. They're so, I think he said overconfident. He's like, they don't care. They know that all they need to do is turn that floor on twice a day, and that's all they need to do. They aren't listening to us. Like, they don't care. And which was another just amazing scene by Diego Luna with his emotions, his facial expressions, everything with Diego Luna when he starts getting emotional in the show is so good. It's just crazy how many great scenes we've gotten in the show that just involves two people in a dialogue. Like, it's so un-George Lucas. All these amazing scenes of dialogue that are just so enticing, and it's just two people talking in a room.
Dude, he's a good actor. Like, now he's in a position where it's all on him to be the vigilant guy who figures out, like, how he's going to do this prison break, whereas before he was... First few episodes, just kind of figuring things out, ended up with the crew and doing the Aldani thing. But this is like a lot of weight on his back alone, not a crew.
But when he says they're not listening, there are people out there like Deidre who are listening. So, he's not entirely true. But overall, the Empire is, fat and wealthy.
Yeah. Well, and I think he's specifically meaning the prison there, just because he was like,
Right.
all they know, all they gotta do is turn these floors on twice. That's why they never even come in here. Like Kino said, he's like, you're not gonna see them again until somebody dies or somebody new is brought in. Because they got it on cruise control with this prison.
He has no idea what that heist did, like the IRS,
It's essentially the same thing.
In the ISB, he has no idea that these higher up ISB people are like literally specifically talking about him and his crew and like the backlash that's coming from that robbery.
Right. Well, now they got his info because unfortunately Bix let it slip, bro. Which, no guilt towards her. They're straight up torturing her, which I guess we'll dive into that. Holy crap. Like,
dude,
that was so dark. That was like Game of Thrones dark. Like, oh my gosh. So the doctor's telling Bix about the torture thing, like how they got it. He's like, we came across this unique species on a planet, this sentient species. They were violently opposed to an Imperial refueling station being put into their planet in the Outer Rim. And we were given permission to just commit genocide, essentially. And you wouldn't believe the screams they make. The guys who killed them, we found them, in a fetal position, cuddled up together, absolutely broken mentally. And they fine-tuned it and got the majority of the cries of children in agony is how he's describing this. And he is smiling ear to ear the entire time he's explaining this, bro. It's the most sadistic I think we've ever seen the Empire. Like, yes, Vader snaps dudes' necks. Yes, they blow up planets with full people. Obviously, that's horrible. But this was like personal. This was like gritty, sadistic, just pure evil, bro. It was on another level of Star Wars.
Yeah, much closer perspective. Like, we haven't seen that evil.
No.
Vader torturing, I mean, not torturing, but Vader doing his thing. I guess he did torture Leia a little bit for information. And, of course, Tarkin making Leia watch her planet get destroyed was rough. But this is the most closely, like you said, personal perspective we've got of how freaking deep they're going and, like, the way they tortured her. And Bix played that, or her character played that so well, dude. That was like a terrible, like the blood curdling scream out of that was one of the best. Like, it made you like wince or grimace.
Yes.
Like, you're just like, oh my God, you don't even understand what she's going through. Cause it's not like they're getting her toes cut off and their eyes, anything weird like that. It's just a device over their head. But she played it so well to where it's like, oh my God, it was just like, you felt her pain.
And the way they cut the audio
Deidre,
too. It was just silence.
Yeah.
Blood curdling scream.
All the music.
Like,
dude. Deidre's little monologue talking to her that whole time. I think that was my favorite scene of the show.
Oh my gosh. She loved that.
Like, just her, dude, loved it. And like, I didn't, like in the beginning, I didn't realize she was evil like that. I thought she was just a very resourceful, smart ISB agent. I thought she might have been a kind of a good person just trying to do good at her job, but no, she is freaking evil. And like, this is, wow, dude.
Yeah, I think Bix said to her, like, you like doing this, don't you? And you could tell she was savoring every single word, every single threat she was saying to Bix. Like, Deidre was eating that up. And yeah, it's just pure evil. Like, they focus children's screams to use as a torture device. I don't know how you get it any worse than that. And then at the very end, the dude goes, well, what about Pac? She goes, I don't care, let him loose or whatever, blah, blah, blah. He's like, well, I'd like to hang him. She's like, all right, as you wish. She's like, oh my gosh, dude, you people are awful.
And we haven't, like, the Empire, like in the original trilogy, we know they're evil, but it's kind of fun. The whole movie's fun. Everything's a good time. And this just gets really dark and down and gritty. And it's like, we literally haven't felt that from Star Wars, but that is how evil they've always been. It's just now we get that close-up perspective of it.
Yeah, it almost didn't feel like Star Wars because of the tone this episode. Like, this episode had the least Star Wars feel to it, in my opinion. I loved it. I absolutely loved it, and it's not a negative I had of it, but this just felt It felt like a dark, intense, like HBO Max series, like a really, really good HBO Max series episode or something like that. Because, yeah, we just have not seen that level and that closeness of just pure sadistic people in Star Wars before. It's just so dark.
But if I'm Bix, I'm probably, Andor, not that great of a guy, owes everyone money, just literally killed 2 officers and then came to hide, brought the Empire, got my boyfriend killed, me beat up, everything's fucked up. And does she even know where he is?
No.
So in the information they found out where he is? She doesn't know, right?
No. They just gave, they told her the time he was gone for and clean shaven and all that. But yeah.
So there was the line where she says, you wouldn't believe what I said anyways. But she eventually says that what happened. You could just be like, yeah, he came here last week after wherever he was, and I told him to get the fuck out of here. You can't stay here. And that was literally what happened.
Right.
So why is she hiding the truth when she isn't really selling him out by saying anything?
Well, we don't even know what she told them.
Yeah, we
But
got
just do it at the
glimpses,
beginning.
but- So what I think, how I took that,
do it at the beginning.
she goes, you're not going to believe me even if I tell you the truth right now, are you? And she goes, no, I suppose not. So I think I took that as being like, you're going to torture me regardless. Even if I tell you the truth right now, you're still going to torture me to confirm that I'm giving you the truth. Because you guys are bragging about this new torture device you're using. Okay. You're going to use it no matter what I say, aren't you? And she's basically like, yeah, I suppose we are. So it was like, yeah, I think she knew she was screwed regardless. But dude, I'd rather have Vader. I'd rather have Vader snap my neck than be in that situation Bix was in. Like, give me Vader, give me the Emperor, bro. That was awful.
To be honest, if there's one single way I could die in life, it would be for Vader to just snap my neck. That'd be awesome.
You know what?
You want to be like picked up and force choked first, right? So you can like dangle in the air, and then it happens. No,
quick death.
You just want the. Oh, well, if it's Vader, you want to be like, dude, this is kind of sick. And,
we're gonna start a GoFundMe and make JD's wish come true. We're gonna make this happen, buddy. You just sit tight.
Someone will do it for free. Right?
With the Force, though. Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
That's an extra stipulation.
Yeah, that might be expensive. Or we can just CGI it.
Yeah. I'll start practicing
die from
now.
the Force.
Yeah, no, he wants it authentic. Let's be real here.
I don't want him to look like the Force. Anybody with Force powers, we'll talk about it, but maybe I don't want to die yet now that I think about it. But you have to be Anakin Skywalker, so sorry.
There's a lot. It's a high demand.
You can come back like Palpatine.
Somehow. Yeah, another thing we kind of found out. So we got the backstory to how Bix and Luthen kind of began their relationship here. So essentially, it's like the perfect trade route location here to be able to have stolen Imperial objects sold off in a black market kind of situation. And apparently Bix has met face to face with Luthen 6 times, which they kept saying. I don't know. I felt like that was somewhat significant. So I'm wondering if Bix knows more about Luthen than we do. And if she actually, because we know she gave up information about Cassian. So did she give up information about Luthen as well? I don't know. They didn't release a lot. So I'm wondering if we're going to see more of that later or next episode.
Yeah. And also it seemed like Deidre already knew a lot about, Axis, who is Luthen.
Right.
And, you've seen him face to face 6 times. And she knows all their meat. She already knew a lot about all the prior situations before the torturing. Mm-hmm. So that was one of the other things where I was like, she already knows a lot. So, whatever you say, she probably already knows.
Yeah.
But I guess the torturing was coming.
Right.
Anyways.
And then Deidre, I noticed this, we have the whole ISB meeting where Partagaz calls them in. And they're talking about Cassian. They're also talking about the rebel pilot that they captured. But there's a point where the assistant of Deidre kind of cuts her off and is like, clean shaven. He was clean shaven. Then he starts talking to Partagaz and kind of breaking it down. And it kind of looks like Deidre got pissed. Almost like this dude's trying to climb the ladder a little too much. You know, and Partagaz told her,
Right.
watch your back, you know, people are going to be gunning for you. So I'm starting to think she doesn't really have trust in anybody, which could eventually lead her to finally reaching out to Cyril and being like, well, at least I know this dude is for the cause. He's not trying to advance his career. Like, yeah, I guess we could just get into that creepy scene if you want, but that was uncomfortable. Bro.
The simp?
Bro, what was that about? He's just stalking her, like grabs her arm. What did he say? Like, I think he says something about like, I thought my life was over until I was in your presence. Oh, he goes, yeah, just being in your presence.
Beauty and
Yeah, the beauty and justice and just being in your presence, I realized life is worth living. It's like, bro, you got interrogated by her a month ago for 30 minutes. You are a straight up psycho. Like Cyril has serial killer vibes like no other in Star Wars. This dude is so particular
weird
about
guy.
It's super weird, so particular about everything, like his dress, he does his uniform, all that like very, very OCD stuff. He's got a special box that he hides in his room that he gets mad at his mom for going through. Like, he is a serial killer. He's a full-on
He's
serial
fucking
killer
weird.
without the killing. He's a serial killer. But
Yeah, it totally has Dahmer vibes. I don't know if you guys watched the
Yeah.
Dahmer show.
I didn't, but I know of him. I think I watched some documentaries. He's a creep. He's a creep serial killer. Yeah, I totally get that vibe from him.
Yeah. Sidebar, the Dahmer show is really good.
I
Yeah,
watched the
apparently it's
first
blown
two.
up.
The first episode was hard to watch.
It is very uncomfortable a lot of the time, but
It
Evan
was-
Peters
it was like
kills it.
5 minutes of just like a guy fucking fighting for his life. He got away, surprisingly,
Oh,
but he was just
That's
like,
the one survivor who ended
yeah,
up like
he
getting
starts
him
off
caught.
at the beginning and then goes
Oh.
back. Yeah,
Interesting. Okay.
Especially if you watch
Oof.
that, Dave, the way Evan Peters plays him, that's total serial vibes.
Really?
Maybe dialed down quite a bit, but yeah,
Cyril gonna start.
he's a
taking
great actor
pictures.
though.
such a good actor.
Oh yeah.
Like that scene with him, the scene with him and Deidre, like it was super weird, but both of them like face to face.
Dude,
Oh, yeah,
it
Cyril,
was
You know,
too.
it was a great scene.
it was hard to watch. It was like off. It was just very off-putting and like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was just, you know, she even calls him out on stalking him, and he goes, "I would never lie to you," and then breaks it down why he's stalking her and how, and like, oh my gosh. I immediately lost any interest I had in this dude, because I went from like, this could be a pretty interesting character to, all right, I don't want to watch this dude creep around anymore. Like, I don't know. I mean, you know, I'm
I
sure
was
he'll have
done.
some stuff, but that brought you back in?
After the second, no. I was done after the second serial
Okay.
scene. Like, he could have died off in the beginning after the whole conflict with Diego Luna's character, and then he they have big plans with him. Obviously, it just hasn't really taken hold yet.
Right. I will
Mommy
say,
issues.
oh gosh, a lot of issues, but yeah, I'm sure. Well, there you go again. Another serial killer. Check the box. Mommy issues. Add to the secret
No
box
dad.
under his bed and the OCD and all that stuff. He is a serial killer. One thing I will say about him though, he's a tool, and not in like the derogative way, like he's a douche. He's a tool to be pointed at something and used. Like, he has this drive for what he continues to say is for justice and taking down Cassian, but it's an obsession, and he's full on obsessed, but he's competent and capable. And that's why down the road, Deidre is going to turn to him once she hits a wall and be like, that is something you point at something and let it go. Like, he is like a dog you kind of
Blindly
let loose
loyal.
and sick on something. Yes, a loyal dog that you can sick on something when you're not being able to get past a certain point, or you need to get around the law or some way. Like, she is going to reach out to him because that's a tool to keep in your tool bucket there.
Tool bucket. We all got tool buckets.
I actually, I didn't even pick up on how weird that sounds. I do have a tool bucket. That's why I said that. There's a little thing, it wraps around the bucket, and it's got little pockets all the way around, so I could just carry it around. I guess that's not normal.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's got
That
a
is,
tool bucket,
actually.
all right? Let's not make it weird. Anywho, so the last thing about Deidre, so they're talking about that rebel pilot, and they mention it's one of Anto Krieger's guys, who was the guy Luthen was trying to get Saw to help in their mission at Spellhouse, because they're planning that attack on Spellhouse. Luthen couldn't get Saw to agree, so they're obviously still in the works with it, and the ISB caught the pilot and tortured him and got a bunch of information out of them. So it was super interesting how quickly they came up with a conspiracy cover-up. Like, okay, well, we'll act like it was an accident. All right, kill him. We'll put him dead in the thing. We'll push him into kind of traffic kind of thing. Like, we'll get him rolling into traffic. All right, make it quick. No traces. Like, they've been taking notes from the U.S. government because they came up with that thing like that and immediately have a cover-up for that dude. Like,
Before they mentioned his name as Krieger, I thought it might have been Haas Obit, who was in the Catalyst books, who was a pilot for... he's one of the dudes that like saved Galen Erso from Vault during the Separatist War, all this stuff. But yeah, it ended up being Krieger.
Yeah, in back-to-back episodes, they've mentioned a name like we're supposed to know who it is. And it's like, this is just a new person that they're introducing, I guess.
Yeah. You thought he was going to be someone we might have known about. The way they kept mysteriously talking about this pilot, but yeah.
Yeah,
Krieger.
I typed in Anto Krieger during our recording last episode, and I was like, oh, okay, so he's the leader of the, something fists. Wasn't even a Star Wars thing. It was like for, Wolfenstein or something. So there's not even like a Star Wars link when you type in that dude's name. So yeah, he's obviously not a big character that people probably are well known. And then Deidre channeled her inner JD and said that they didn't interrogate Malva because she was too old and frail to do anything important. Like, come on, she was checking for doors. She tried to open a gate last episode.
She can't take her stuff. She's too old.
Too old. Oh gosh.
And she's bait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is sad. Poor Malva.
But she's not going to come back. I feel like they cut ties pretty well. He's gone. She's staying. I don't know. Yeah, why would he come back again and have the same conversation?
Right. And you would think, but this dude keeps returning to Ferrix and putting everybody in danger. So I wouldn't, but I would imagine it'd be weird. It'd be weird if he came back again. Like,
I could see him going out of prison being like, this is my safe spot. I'm going to try it again. Let's go back to Ferrix.
I'd say it's worked out so far.
Like right before she dies.
Yeah. Or, maybe Deidre tells, I got Bix. I just made her listen to the agonizing screams of children for a few hours. She's not doing so hot.
She's going to be pissed. If they speak again, she's not going to like him.
Pissed. So pretty much only other thing in this, it wasn't a whole lot happening in this episode. It was mainly the prison thing for me, which I loved. But we did get some Mon Mothma stuff. We got her at the Senate meeting, in the classic Senate chambers, absolutely riling the crowd up. I mean, she had people eating out of her hands with that speech. They were loving it. My God. Yeah, everybody's just yelling. Dude, she said like 2 words and you immediately hear, long live the Empire. Like, you guys are senators, right? Not like fans at a baseball game heckling. You're supposed to be senators, I think. But that obviously didn't go well. But I use closed captions. And there was 3 or 4 like positive things being yelled from people too. Yeah. Like, she's right. We should listen to her. So there are some senators out there that will probably join her cause down the line. So that was, important. Yes, she embarrassed herself, but that might have been really important to bring some help from other senators that are like-minded individuals. And then the big reveal, Vel. Vel shows up, and she is Mon Mothma's cousin, which, again, we brought up last episode. Cinta had that line of, maybe I'll act like I'm a rich person running away from their family or something. And Vel was like, that's cold even for you. So we were talking about, okay, so she's got rich parents. I think I said maybe it's a senator. I definitely didn't predict Mon Mothma, that's for sure. And she's the cousin.
Right.
So that was interesting. They obviously both know Luthen. Vel didn't want to talk about him or even acknowledge him, though. And they have that talk about, what are we doing? It's like, we chose a side, we have a purpose in our life. And I'm curious to see how Vel got brought into all this. If she was the one that radicalized Mon Mothma, if Mon Mothma was the one who radicalized her, and maybe this is why she kind of froze up in the mission. Like, maybe that was one of her first main missions. Like, she's typically a rich person and she's finally breaking away from this stuff. And, Cinta's definitely more weathered and hardcore than her.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like the interaction with her husband at the dinner table.
That guy's the worst.
Oh my God! And he says, you're pretty old now to have a husband. You're gonna have to find like a widower.
Yeah,
like,
nobody to
and
value.
he's like, well, all the good ones are taken. And Mon Mothma looks over at him like, yes. That was hilarious.
That was pretty funny. He's like, well, there's nobody of value at your age. It's like, dude, you are just a horrible person. And the daughter is horrible too. I can't stand her, bro. I cannot stand her. Like, she's gonna betray them. Yeah, well, she throws that in there, but she's like all excited, a little brat about these nice dresses that Aunt Vel brought back to her. And Mon Mothma I don't remember what she said. She's like, oh, see if your father lets you wear it. She goes, he lets me do anything I want. I was like, oh, you need to be smacked. You need to be smacked. I just can't stand her. Like, why is she in the show?
I know. That's a good question.
Just only to, I would imagine, to betray Mon Mothma down the line. It's the only thing I could think, but I can't stand her, man.
Mon Mothma's family, they're freaking villains in their own way. It's like, get out of there, dude.
Well, and after that line last episode, we were saying, like, now it makes a little sense, at least. It was an arranged marriage. They never loved each other, which, shows.
It's clear.
Yeah, it's not hard to see.
And her charity's about to get blown up. She needs to basically, audited. So she has to make connects and do some money laundering with a member of the mafia.
Mm-hmm.
Davo.
Yeah. Go deep. Let's go.
There. Yeah, we're about to get. I hope we get some dope crime lord, underground crime kind of stuff, because Star Wars has a massive underworld crime syndicate storylines out there that rarely get touched upon, especially in the movies and shows. Like Clone Wars touched on it a bit. Obviously, Solo did, but those two. Other than that, Jabba scene here and there. But I hope they go deep into that. That'd be cool. And he wants to come to her place in Coruscant. Feel like that might be what gets her caught. I don't know. Hot take.
Watch her get caught up with Darth Maul's freaking, what are they called? The Black Syndicate or something like that?
They are the Sun, the Black Sun. Crimson Dawn.
Crimson Dawn.
Crimson Dawn.
Of course.
The other one is the Black
that's
something clan. That's from Clone Wars.
Yeah, they're not doing big. Imagine even if you saw someone like Poe Dameron, you'd be like, oh my God, back to fucking Disney Plus style Star Wars.
Yeah.
Or however you want to put it. It's just like this show works so well without all that extra Star Wars shit.
Dude, totally. Like, it's been such a solid show, such a pleasant surprise. Like, at this point, I don't think there's going to be a down episode. We only have 3 episodes left. We've gotten 9 episodes, and the premiere was slow. But I have thoroughly enjoyed every episode over an 8, or at least at an 8 like rating. It's just it's unusual for Star Wars to be this solid, this well written, like start to finish. It's nice.
Yeah, dude, it's been getting better and better for me. Now we have this cool situation, super engaging, where Andor stuck in prison. Like all those scenes are super engaging, and then you have this freaking evil empire. All those scenes with the ISB and Deidre. Like really showing how evil they are, tracking down Andor. It's just like real engaging. It's getting better and better. I can't imagine what the finale is going to be like.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know what to predict for every episode we're going into. I don't know what to expect, but it's not a problem. Like it's because I have full faith in it. Like I really don't know what's going to happen next episode, but sure it'll be dope. And every time it's like, that was a solid episode. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
next episode should be a prison break, which
Deidre will get her hands on Andor soon. That's going to be scary.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're going to like realize that he's in a prison as they're kind of hitting their prison break there.
Right. He's literally stuck in a cage. They could easily go grab him. Who's running the prison? If like the people who are so high up in the ISB are looking for this man with a very specific name, very specific face, and he's literally in prison somewhere, that's probably run. I mean, that is run by the Empire. It's like they're in.
Right.
He's in their grasp. They just don't realize he's freaking in prison.
Yeah. So he's got the different name, but you could check the mug shots of when you process them and then compare it. Because what is he now? Keith Cargo or some Star Wars ass name.
Chief Keef. Yeah.
Chief Keef. That's it. Love Sosa. Cassian Andor.
It's probably because they're arresting everyone for every little crime. So they have like billions of prisoners over in the galaxy.
Without a name, it's going to be tough to cycle through all those. Like you can't just cross reference faces.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's not very realistic. So I think that would be. I mean, I just gave my overall thoughts right there. I think on the episode. Caleb, let's get any concluding thoughts here and your rating for the episode.
So if I do have one nitpick about the show, and
Okay.
I would like a little bit less jumping around, where it's, a 5-minute Cassian scene and then a 3-minute Cyril, back to Cassian, back to Cyril, Mon Mothma, Vel. Like, it would be nice if it was like 10 minutes and 10 minutes, and it's a lot of cutting back and forth, and it kind of, I don't like it sometimes.
Okay.
But the things I do like is just the ruthlessness of the Empire and how they will stop at nothing now to get the Death Star done and to find Cassian, and so I love that.
Yeah.
So I do have this rated at an 8.4.
Yeah, I
All
didn't
right.
get that with the
Yeah.
jumping around thing. Like, I feel like it's kind of a normal procedure for shows. I don't know. It didn't feel jumpy to me. Maybe if I watch it again, I would see what you're talking about. But you have a very specific set of characters and their stories going on, and in a 45-minute episode, it kind of just jumps around. And I kind of gave my overall thoughts a couple minutes ago, and those are my overall thoughts. It's really cool to see the Empire doing this crazy torture shit. It's really fun and engaging seeing him in prison, planning an escape, seeing how evil that prison system is. Like, who knows what happened on level 2? The Empire runs the show, dude. Like, seeing them, it's a side of them we haven't seen at this level, and I absolutely love it. Diego Luna in prison, and Andy Serkis as a surprise character is playing a cool role, and he's killing it.
Yeah.
So let's go with an 8.4.
Boom. Love
I
it.
had a lot of fun with this episode. Yeah, it's really good.
Okay. Well, it's funny you guys talk about the time or the scene jumping, and I'm actually a little bit on both your sides. So I did notice it jumping a fair amount with pretty short scenes, but I actually liked the way they did it because it felt like every time they switched to the new character, they left off on a almost parallel kind of part of their storyline as they came into Andor. So there was something similar happening with one storyline before hopping to the next one, and it kind of just had smooth transitions to me as I was watching. I thought they did it really well, but I did notice it did feel like there was a lot of jumps, but I liked the way they did it. Oh, Caleb, you wanna throw out that Princess Leia thing?
Oh, just how it's a shot by shot, the same thing as A New Hope when Leia is getting interrogated. It's the same scene as Bix when the door shuts and it shows the officer walking.
Yeah,
For sure.
which is dope. Dope little nod to the original trilogy there.
That is a good scene in A New Hope, too, because, it's one of the first scenes. If you've never seen, that's obviously the very first Star Wars movie ever. And now it's just like, oh my God, they're sitting there torturing people. And with how very little you saw her in pain, it was pretty terrifying.
Right.
Yeah.
And the one Han scene.
Oh,
yeah.
He's going forward on the thing and that thing opens and it's spinning and shit.
Mm-hmm.
All the drills and stuff.
Dude,
Yeah.
gnarly.
This looks like a medieval freaking torture device.
It's a long time ago, bro. It's a long time ago.
Yeah. It's like a casket of
In a
needles.
galaxy far away.
Yes. I again, very very similar thoughts with this show. It's solid. It's solid, and it's such a cool surprise to get Andy Serkis thrown into here, and he definitely is Snoke. So don't even theorize about it. It's just a fact.
It's an origin.
It's been definitely an origin story. He bluffed about the whole fan service thing. We're getting the explanation to Snoke. It's happening in front of our eyes, and I love that. No, it was really good, dude, and I'm very excited for the chance for a Star Wars project to actually take home some real hardware, like we talked about during the Tales of the Jedi episode. I think this show has a legitimate chance to bring home some Emmys, to bring home some type of stuff for a Star Wars project that
Some
isn't
Saturns.
visual. Some Saturns. They'll definitely bring some Saturns home. But visually, outside of the visual spectrum of the VFX spectrum, I think this show has a chance to at least get some nominations because it's just really well done, and it's really refreshing to see that done with the Star Wars project. As a rating, I got an 8.3 out of 10, so it was a little better than the last episode. But again, I was saying earlier, it's hard to rate this show because I feel as satisfied as the last episode every time. Like every time an episode ends, I'm like, all right, that was pretty solid. I'm not mind blown, But I at no point have I been bored through this show. And I know that's a common complaint with a lot of people, that the show is very slow and there's not a lot happening, which it is much slower paced than a lot of Star Wars stuff, but it's done so well that I haven't minded it once. So very pleased.
The acting and the writing has been like, I would
Yes.
say maybe even better than the Mandalorian, whereas the Mandalorian
Yeah.
might be
I
better,
think so.
better
Oh, for
overall
sure.
because it's more fun and you got this random baby Yoda, like all this stuff.
It's Star Wars.
Right.
Yeah, but the execution's insane, and there has not been a boring episode. It's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, no, I think this is the best writing and acting we've ever gotten in a Star Wars project for sure. Like, it's been great.
Oh, and the intro music, it had a Stranger Things vibe this time. It was
I
weird.
skipped it this time. I was running short on time.
We go back and it has like a prison. It was like a prison break Stranger Things mix or something. I don't know. It was weird.
Interesting. It's kind of fun when they do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that'll wrap it up for tonight's episode and our coverage of Andor episode 9. Again, we'll be back next week covering episode 10. We got Tales of the Jedi dropping pretty soon here. And we got Black Panther coming up. So we'll probably come back next episode with a few predictions on the box office, and maybe down the road for 2023 do a box office movie draft. Who knows? Maybe that'll be the episode I want to do when we get a little bit more free time to do stuff and have a little bit more fun with our episode categories and all that. So yeah, I'm excited. Obviously, I think Black Panther is going to be definitely a top 10 MCU movie, possibly breaking into the top 5, dude. I got high hopes for this movie. So
Same.
Damn.
yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be better than the first. I'll say that.
Me too.
So, as always, thank you for joining us. You can follow us on social media. You can and you should follow us on social media. Give us some love. Help us grow the page. Help us grow the pod. We'd surely appreciate it. Thank you, Caleb, and thank you, Jeremy, for joining me tonight on another episode of Why So Sidious, a nerd podcast.